Hey, I'm Antaine Furlong. I'm one of the producers, the director, and one of the writers of Ascendant.
Hi, I'm Christy Vernon. I'm one of the producers of Ascendant.
Hi, I'm Johnny Pazvolsky. I play Richard Wolfe in Ascendant.
What inspired me to create this film? Well, I wrote it 12 years ago with my co-writer, Kieran. I have a fear of heights, and I came out of a meeting one day and there was this guy messing around with the elevator doing some maintenance work. The doors were open and he had this device in his hand that was similar to an iPad, but he just easily was controlling its movement going up and down to make sure that, it was working properly. And I was probably on the 30th floor of a high-rise building, so you can imagine the wind that was coming out of it. And I was just looking at this guy thinking the power that this guy has over an individual who could be contained and trapped in a space, and imagine he didn't like that person. And so that's really, for me, where it sort of kick-started the process of the seed idea for the film.
I was excited to be part of this project because it was such a strong female lead film, and also the idea of working in just one space, being the lift, and creating the claustrophobia that is so essential to the movie. That excited me.
What inspired me about getting involved in this film was the father-daughter relationship, and in actual fact, I have 3 daughters of my own, so I felt like I could tap into it strongly. I felt like I kind of had a main line to the emotions required to make the relationship strong and believable.
So the challenges I faced, I guess at the very beginning, so when Christy and James, when we all came together, decided to make this, we had to move rather quickly because I know they were moving on to a new project in the new year. We jumped straight into it, which, had its moments, especially because, we were just in starting that process of developing a 12-year-old script and trying to make it relevant to today. Then I guess when it came on to the production side of things, Johnny had mentioned that, the first week when I was working with Johnny and the guys, he didn't have another actor to work with, and especially the character being his daughter and seeing her trapped in a confined space and being used as the way she is used in the film by these aggressors.
Well, Charlotte was not in the room. We were dealing almost on one axis with the camera, and I was needing to connect very strongly with Charlotte, and in an emotional way, and yet she was not in the room, and vice versa. That was the biggest challenge for us as the actors, I think.
It's difficult for the actor and it's difficult for the director because you're conscious of the emotional state that needs to be there throughout this period. And you break up every day, you come in the next day, and you've got to get right back into the same emotional state you were in the day before. So that had enormous challenges for all of us.
As you never wish to be acting in a bubble. There's just no such thing as that. But for this particular film, it actually helped, I think. And the main thing was it forced us to create large inner worlds for ourselves, to have stimulus not only from, look, I was lucky I was in a lot of torture scenes, a lot of physical scenes, so I had other guys to work off. But when I was relating with Charlotte's character, I needed to have a lot of source material for myself to put me in the right place, and that was pretty interesting, and that definitely influenced things, and in a way I think the separation helped.
As a producer, you face on a film set a daily barrage of challenges, but for us, one of the big ones was those screens in the film. We had the lift constructed so that it could be used and dropped by a gimbal, but the screens aren't made to be dropped quickly, so the struggle to have those not break and make sure that they were in the right place, that gave me a few extra grey hairs than I needed.
I guess the biggest surprise of it all was that we were just preparing into the post-production side for our film. That's a good 6 to 8 months because of the 400 plus visual effects shots that are in the film. And so the pandemic hit right there, right then. And we were in that, for an independent film, in this state of chaos. And we were all in lockdown trying to figure out the logistics of finishing this movie. And that was a stomach churning 8 months of my life. Of course, it's not the worst stories that we've ever heard, but it was an experience, that's for sure.
A piece of advice that I'd give to aspiring creators is surround yourself with good crew, good cast, good crew. It's so important to have. It's even worth paying a little bit more money just to get the right person, because they'll save you money at the end of the day.
Approach everything with a sense of humor and look for good people you like working with, people that lift you up, don't bring you down. It's a hard enough business, and we all, I think, in the end, want the same thing. You know, we want to make some great art, we want to make great stories, and the beautiful thing about filmmaking is you're thrown into this crew with all these people and you end up with lifelong friends, and that's what this experience was. So yeah, look out for the good people.
One piece of advice I would give to aspiring creators is to never give up. I came into this game very late. I'm not from Australia, I'm Irish, and so I didn't know anybody here. And so you're immediately climbing a mountain, and you must persevere. You must finish your work. If people give you feedback, try and find out what positives you can take from the information. And most importantly, collaborate. You must collaborate, because everybody is your teammate, no different whether it's on a sports field or you're completing any project in any industry. You must collaborate with people. If you're a defensive person, which a lot of writers can be, that's something you really need to park and learn that everybody's here to try and help make it a success.
What I hope audiences will take from this is an entertaining but emotional ride. It's a sensorial experience. It's like a visceral roller coaster of a film. And I think regardless of anything else, being thrown up and down through so many emotions, and you'll have to forgive the metaphor then the fact that Charlotte's in an elevator, this woman is in an elevator going up and down. I mean, it is really a visual representation of just how broad the spectrum of emotions is in this. So hopefully that's what they'll take from it.
For me, you certainly have to pay attention. You have to listen to the dialogue, because the dialogue has cryptic information that is layered throughout the entire story. And then, of course, it's the emotion between a father and a daughter who sacrificed herself in the belief that she could save her family. And a father now realizing that sacrifice and seeing it play out, is an emotional journey for the two of them. And so I hope people can tap into that.
The one thing I really wanted to add was this is a genre film, and this is an Australian film. I think this is different to a lot of films that have been made coming out of Australia, and it has a very international sensibility. I think he's a great champion for Australian film reaching out to a much bigger, wider audience. The ambition of this project is admirable. I just want to say to everybody in Australia, please just support each other, no matter where they come from. And especially through COVID, it's been overwhelming, and let's get Australian films out there. They're awesome. And go watch Ascendant, which is Rising Wolf in America.